Joining me now is the man who's leading the investigation, Sheriff Brian Albert of Washington County, Maryland. Sheriff, thank you so much for taking time. I know that your entire team is extremely busy right now. What is the very latest on the search for Argote?
Well, thank you, Ashleigh, for having us on and getting our message out. Not much has changed since the press conference earlier in the day, but I can assure you that we've had full cooperation from all federal agencies reached out to us. We have any resources that we need that we could need or want. We are a relatively small agency here in Maryland. We are a full service law enforcement agency, so we have our criminal investigators working on this round the clock. We have Hagerstown City Police is assisting us, and also the Maryland State Police. We are working tirelessly to apprehend Argote, and hopefully this comes to an end for the family's sake as soon as possible.
So, Sheriff, there's two families that are in grave danger tonight, I would say, and that is the family of Argote. Clearly, the wife has been a target of much of his consternation, and those four children, and the family of this judge. Is there protection right now for both of these families?
Yes, there is, Ashley. Both of them, both families are in protective custody or in a place that they would be safe for the foreseeable future. We don't feel that there's any threat. Yes, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, good to hear. I was going to ask you that next, if there was a threat to the public as well. And seemingly this is quite a targeted attack if I read the policing right, which leads me to the question, what led you so quickly to Argote as the shooter, as the alleged shooter?
Initial reports starting coming in from court staff, Judge Wilkinson's staff, and just for our investigators acting quickly, but with caution, not to target the wrong suspect. So we gathered the information as much as possible, and that was coming in, and this led us to Argote as the main suspect.
Did anyone witness him shoot, or did anyone witness someone who looks like him shoot? Did anyone witness the Mercedes there?
We're not releasing that information at this time. I will say that, Judge Wilkinson's wife, I spoke to her earlier today, and, she was the first one on the scene. She is the one that called 911. And, it's just a tragic situation, horrendous crime.
Did she respond to the gunshots, or did she actually see what was happening?
I think she responded to the gunshots, but I'm not positive of that. But I think it was the gunshots she responded to.
Then, the judge presumably would have overseen multiple cases in that day. What was it specific about what the court staff told you about this particular defendant that led you to believe he was the shooter?
Well, to my knowledge, this was the only case that the judge heard on yesterday. And so Argote was not present in the court. He did not show up for court. He was served electronically around 5 p.m. yesterday.
Does Argote have any other family? And I don't mean his ex-wife and four children, but other nuclear family who might be able to cooperate with you? Because usually when someone is this frantic, they're not thinking straight and they need help, and they typically go to some of the closest people to them, and that would be family.
We're following up on those leads. You mentioned a few states earlier that he had connections to. We're in contact with law enforcement in those local jurisdictions that are assisting in the investigation.
Are the family members that he has cooperating?
The family members here locally are, yes.
So I just want to be clear, and again, I don't mean his ex-wife and four children. I feel that he would not go to them for assistance, but other family members of his. And are you saying that other family members of his locally are cooperating?
I don't, to my knowledge, our investigators have not had any roadblocks in the investigation. Everyone that we've contacted has been cooperative in the investigation.
And do you know if officers have been able to contact family members of his aside from his wife and children, locally in Maryland?
I can't comment on that at this time.
Understand. At this point, are you able to connect any of the shell casings that may have been collected at the scene and match them to any of his registered weapons?
Currently, we cannot. We have gathered evidence from his residence in Frederick, Maryland, and evidence at the scene, and we're working to have an ironclad case moving forward for charging and conviction in this matter.
Sheriff Albert, do you have any good leads tonight, or are you in the same boat that you were as soon as you realized the judge was in his driveway and there was a killer on the loose?
No, the investigation's progressing. We have some leads that we're working on, and just things that we can't release to the public at this time. But the investigation is progressing.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.